bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today, it ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. I put the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top of the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
Back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown L.A. at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Washington Redskins and our home team. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go now. 15 line. 15 line. This is a look. We taking wins home.
Check 99. Check 99.
49. Check 49. Check 49. You're out. Check. Ready.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, here we go. Check your hot read. Shoot. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
5.
On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And right away, he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
Here we go.
The Charger drive about to get going. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
To throw on second down, Patterson gets it to Gordon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Patterson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. First carry for Darius Geis. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Derwin James.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Watch 7. Watch 7. Single, single. Single, single. No.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. This pass complete to Higgins. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now the first carry for Bryce Love. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From midfield now, Haskins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Watch twins.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready, break.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Here we go.
Snap.
To throw on 3rd down. Patterson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantee.
Jordan Reed, the 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed. An even 90 yards. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. The Charger drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
51 to Mike. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Bravo!
Mike 51, Mike 51. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Ready?
Throwing again. Patterson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
You call plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Switch it. Come on.
Greystone, travel.
He's checking credit.
This is Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Looked like they picked a heck of a time to run the counter.
And we've been saying that in this great game of football probably since we started playing. Anytime you get guys thinking you're going to go one way and you hit back the opposite side, it's a great chance it can turn into the type of play we just saw there, a big gainer.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
6-6, bullet high.
2nd and 1. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Patterson. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 12-yard line. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. is in for a Charger touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
First down, Washington.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone. Let's set a tone. Hey, check right. Watching your five.
Nice, sweetheart. Check. Check 31.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And this one complete to Reed. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
52. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. Kill.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
52's the mark.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Jordan Reed has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. on play action. Haskins. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now it's Haskins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and take.
Baby, let's go! Let's go!
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Second down, Haskins. Open man is Higgins. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and get it with Geis. And Geis is going to be stopped short as he did not get the push he needed. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Returning it is Moore. Now a hit and a loose football.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Going deep for Benjamin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
1st down, Redskins.
On 1st down, this is Geis. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Now it's Haskins. Looking long for his tight end. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing on third and long. Haskins, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They go play action here on first down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
On the ground, Geis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. So backed up to the 6 now. Third and goal. Snap comes at 1. Now Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Down.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey, lock it.
Switch gears.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And it's complete. Henry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Looking to throw on second down. Patterson. It's Williams on the catch. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Patterson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Patterson. And this is caught. He hits more. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
On 1st down, Patterson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Looking to throw. Patterson. And it's a fumble. And the Redskins scoop it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Oh, he's got some breathing room. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Bullock good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
Come on, let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And it's 3rd down.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Key in 21, key in 21.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Let's go. 90, Wolf.
I know he ain't got it.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Gotta do better.
And they take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they'll indeed take a knee. So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Redskins, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions, daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition ain't. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Big numbers, 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in a sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, don't make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet pointed guard.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your fifth grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she wanted like me cause her claim she can't count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to guard.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Ay, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Knows my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
mama and tell your daddy. And tell the whole damn world it's Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy. And tell the whole damn world it's Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough.